They thought what they killed was just a harmless body. They had no idea. That same night, revenge hit immediately. The dry, solid ground started to seep with water. The next second, the soldiers guarding the body felt the ground collapse and were dragged straight into the mud. And all of this started with a single fishing net. That day, what the fishermen pulled from the sea was not a fish at all. That thing was trapped in the net, letting out piercing screams. That sound didn't sound like any animal. It sounded more like a desperate cry for help. The British military stepped in quickly. They judged this creature to have extremely high research value, so they decided to pay a high price and buy it from the fishermen. After searching through ancient texts, the military realized this was far worse than expected. This creature was described in mythology as the Sea Devil. It had extremely high intelligence, and its appearance was shockingly similar to humans. The military gave it a code name, the Waterman, but what followed was nothing like real science. It looked more like systematic abuse. It was tortured again and again until its life was completely gone. The Waterman died during the experiments. Everyone thought this whole thing was finally over, but no one expected the real reckoning to begin that same night. It was only the beginning. The two soldiers, standing guard over the body, suddenly felt the ground turn wet and soft. Mud and water kept bubbling up, as if the earth itself was melting. They didn't even have time to call for help before a force dragged them underground. The whole thing, no screams, no struggle. Seconds later, the ground flattened out again, as if nothing had happened. But the soldiers, who had been on duty, were completely gone. The general immediately used the radio to call out their names, but what answered him was a strange sound coming from underground. The soldiers dropped to the ground and dug with their bare hands. The next second, a human hand slowly emerged from the ground. Seeing this, the general finally realized this wasn't simple revenge. It was a declaration of war on humanity. Almost at the same moment, global alarms went off. Massive amounts of plastic trash poured down from the sky. Cities fell into chaos. People freaked out and ran. Some people were killed on the spot. Only then did humanity realize the water people had completely taken control of the rivers, the lakes, and the oceans. Just when everyone thought a full-scale war was unavoidable, the water people suddenly set a condition. They were only willing to negotiate with one person. What shocked everyone even more was that this person wasn't a general, wasn't an expert, and wasn't any high-ranking official. He was simply a completely ordinary office worker. The reason they chose him was simple. While everyone else stood by, he was the only one who showed respect to that body. He, for the Waterman, had prayed.